and welcome back to another episode of the SHU Doing podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Burrell, alongside Paul Guarino.
How's it going, everybody?
We're joined by a very special guest, Kayla Lawrence. Kayla, welcome to the show.
Hey.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to chat with you guys.
Yes, happy to have you on here. We've been behind the scenes planning this out for a little bit, so glad to get this scheduled. So we like to start things around here with why Sacred Heart? How did you find out about the school? And take us through that process.
Yeah, so I was recruited by Sacred Heart for track and field. In high school, I ran track and was really looking for a school that met my needs. I was a jumper in high school, and when I got to Sacred Heart, I quickly shifted into primarily a sprinter only. But I was really, connected with Coach Morrison as a coach. He really instilled in me some future, aspirations and achievements that I could achieve on the team. And that's really what was conveyed me to really lean into Sacred Heart.
So why the switch from jumping to sprinting primarily?
I think it was just a strength in what the team needed, to be completely honest with you. So coming in my freshman year, that was just where they saw me as a better fit on the team. Okay. And it ended up working out, honestly. I have some school records at Sacred Heart. I don't know if I still do, but I did a few years ago. We definitely need to do some research and digging up. Y'all can edit it here.
Yeah.
So it ended up really working out. I had a really successful career at Sacred Heart, and really just had to trust my coaches with that transition.
How fast are you?
We got to know what records and what events.
Yeah, how fast am I today is a different story. But I had the school record and the 400, 500, and then we had some relays as well, and the 300 actually as well. Yeah.
So were you faster than the football players?
Well, I never went neck and neck, but it's different.
Do you think you're faster than them?
Right now or back then? No. Back then, who would you put me up against? Maybe but short, football players typically do super short, 40-yard dashes.
Yeah.
I was doing a 400-meter race, which is all the way around the track. So typically, there were football players who were on our team who did dual sports, and typically sometimes they gas out or in a 400 because you're so used to short sprints, that quick, short explosion work. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Why are you comparing her only to the football players? They were
exactly. Why are we doing that? Don't do that.
No, because I think she probably was faster than the football players. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Maybe trying to gas her up. Probably faster than AB, that's for sure. What?
He's a soccer player. He's got a lot of endurance, though.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
See, it was a time I thought about coming out for the track team issue. I thought about it.
Really?
I can't see
you. What year was that?
You can't see me running track. I ran track in high school. I was a Florida State champion in track. I should have been a Florida State champion in track. Yeah, if I didn't pull out of the 4x1, see, I'm trying to. But this is not about me. This is about you, Kayla. So, as you get to campus, what did you decide to major on?
I majored in communications, and then I had a minor in marketing. Okay. It took me a while to really figure out what I wanted to do at Sacred Heart, if I'm being honest. I explored psychology when I first started as well, because I knew I really breaking things down, understanding how people think and why they're emotional and things like that. But I also had a super creative side, and with communications, I love being behind the camera, editing content, doing graphic design, things like that. And I really loved the many options that came with communications as I was thinking about my future and where I wanted to go after Sacred Heart as well. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. How did you get into everything? I know you do photography too. How did you get into all that stuff?
Honestly, like I've just always, for some reason, I've always just had a camera around. Like growing up, my parents always had like cameras in the house. My brother was like an art major, so he always had his own camera and like creative like painting equipment. So maybe I guess I just came from a creative back like home. Um, but truthfully, like even with my business now, I feel like Sacred Heart gave me like the confidence in some of that, right? Knowing how to edit video and just like being able to explore that, because I was able to translate some of that skill set over into my actual like career after school. I graduated and started a long-term internship with the NCAA at a Division III school. So with them, I was doing athletic communications. So I was editing content. I was like, taking headshots for the athletes and any game photos, things like that. So it was like an easily translatable skill that I had learned, just by doing some projects at Sacred Heart. And I just really grew to love it over time.
What was that like? You get on campus, you're doing all these different things, and now you're doing it for the first time in the professional world. Obviously, you mentioned, feeling comfortable, but what was that process like? Is there any, learning curve, anything along those lines?
Um, Definitely a learning curve. Definitely a lot of learning curves because before I was just doing it for projects, and now I'm actually doing it for a big institution. So definitely a lot of learning curves. Just in athletic communications in general. But I think that I was able to bring a unique POV because I was a little bit more youthful. I came right out of school. And, in athletic communications, sometimes you have people who've been in the industry for a really long time and they didn't know like things like social media. So I brought a new perspective to the team in terms of like being able to push content on social, growing that presence on social, utilizing graphics and visuals to really define the school's brand language across social media. And that was something that like was really like something I was able to develop in my career to come as well afterwards.
Yeah, that's so. How did you get that internship?
Yeah, so oh my gosh, so funny. So actually it was like one of my last track meets at Sacred Heart, and I had ran into someone that I knew from high school. She was like my high school teammate, and her dad was there as well. And we were just talking about like, okay, what are your plans to do after college? And I was like, I'm applying to jobs, things of that nature. And at that time, I think it was like 2 or 3 months before graduation, and he had told me about this opportunity. I think he had worked at a Division III school himself, but he just told me like, if you want to stay connected to sports, there's these grants that the NCAA gives out to Division III schools, in which they hire minorities in different roles. So my year, I think in particular, my cohort was athletic communication specifically. So most of the roles that they handed out were, tailored to that. And I had told him like, that's my background. Like, I'd love to do that. That's like aligned with me in every single way. Like, I wanted to stay connected to sport. I was so sad about graduating and leaving. Like, track was like my whole identity at the time. So it was just like perfect alignment, honestly. Like, I'm just so grateful for him. I like, afterwards, once I got the opportunity, I told him like just so happy and grateful I was to like meet up with him, and when I did see him and him tell me about this opportunity. So it was truly word of mouth that I was able to hear about it. But I've, since I've, told a lot of people about the opportunity who, were looking for sport opportunities after my time.
That's cool. And after your time there, where do you head?
After my time there, where did I go after? Okay, so okay, yeah. So after I was in outside of Philadelphia for that at a Division III school called Bryn Mawr. After that, I went to University of California, Berkeley. So I worked there with the women's basketball team. and I was the content creator on the team. So I went from athletic communications into content creation, which was pretty much the same thing, just different titles. A little bit less of like the writing portion was in that position for the content creation, really focusing on developing and growing social platforms for that women's basketball team in California. So I was there for about 2.5 years during COVID, which was really, really difficult. But yeah, that was like a huge leap of faith that I took right after that internship.
That's great. Cal Berkeley is, I mean, beautiful state, very different from Philadelphia. What was I mean, obviously it being COVID, you have a very unique perspective, but what was your time like in California?
I mean, California was great. I mean, I think I would go back again because I feel like COVID tainted my experience a little bit. But to have nice weather all the time, like, it's just something like that's unmatched. Right. Honestly, like now being in the East Coast, like I really value being able to just like go for walks and like having that beautiful sunshine like every morning, even though like we were on lockdown and it was really hard, like especially in the Bay Area. I don't know if you guys remember, but like it hit, I believe COVID hit the Bay, like one of the first states to like hit the Bay. And it was like the lockdown, and like, with COVID, like it was like taken very seriously there. So it was like you couldn't leave your house at certain times, like grocery stores were closing early, people had masks on, gloves on, like it was like shock, you know what I mean? But yeah, we made it through. We made it through for sure.
And then from Cal Berkeley, I know you make your way into the, would you call it the apparel world, or would you call it footwear?
We call it the footwear industry.
Footwear? Okay, the footwear industry. All right, so can you go ahead and tell everyone where after Cal where you end up?
Yeah, I mean, so Cal was a great experience. I was still connected to athletes, still connected to sport, learning a lot, turning over content really, really quickly. However, I was just like missing home, especially with COVID as well. So I was like, I kind of want to be a little bit closer to Boston right now. It just made sense for me, and just like, needing family support and things like that. So I started with Reebok, actually. That was my first job in the footwear industry. I was there for about a year. Unfortunately, they did have some layoffs, and I share that because like it's not something that like I should be ashamed of. It's definitely taught me the importance of having multiple things going on for yourself in your career, and I think that like really helped me just like know the importance of having my own like side business, side hustle, and like that helped blossom Case Among Photos. So yeah.
Tell us about it, because I mean, obviously, I've seen it all over Instagram, but for those who might not know, let them know.
Yeah, I mean, I have a photography business here in Boston, but I also travel all over. I specialize in portraits, events. I work with emerging models and stylists in the Boston area in particular, who are really like working to develop their portfolios. So we do a lot of work in studio, but also outside of studio. And yeah, just like all around photography. So I started it I would say about 4 years ago now, just like having fun, like asking friends, like, hey, do you want to take some photos on the weekend? Like, I have this camera. Like I said, I had cameras all throughout the house. So I always had a camera in my hand or just like in the house. And just started asking friends. Like I went on a vacation with my friend and was like, hey, it's your birthday, you want me to take birthday pics of you? And she was like, yeah, sure, why not? From there I had like a few backlogs of content, and I was like, I should just start an Instagram. Like I had no expectations of like truly growing, and the growth is not done. It's not done at all. But I didn't have any expectations for like having consistent clients or anything like that. I was just like, I kind of just want to showcase what I do and like things for fun, like my creative side. And yeah, that's kind of really how it kickstarted.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's dope. And then I saw you worked at Puma too. So and now you're at New Balance, obviously. So what is it like to you worked at like the three like big footwear brand? Like what's like I don't know, like what is it like, and like what's like differences between the three?
Yeah, each brand is very, very different. New Balance is completely different than Puma, that's for sure. Both really great companies to work with. I think they really value their employees. But just like the atmosphere is different. New Balance, the job I work at now, is really like a family like atmosphere. Also, it's kind of I would say New Balance is a little bit more like we're working with smaller teams, so you have a lot more connectivity. As I was talking with you guys to like our athletes, for example, and to go to productions, for example, as well. So like I'm really connected on the ground, working hand by hand combat on some of these major projects and creative executions that we're working on, which is like really, really amazing.
Yeah,
What's been your favorite project that you've worked on so far?
Oh my gosh. You guys putting me on the spot. Like I can't talk about things we haven't released. Favorite yeah, I can't talk about okay. Yeah, so Cameron Brink is our, one and only WNBA player right now. I was able to work on our seasonal campaign with her and really help bring that storytelling to life. And that was really, really fun. That was a really fun project as well because she was like, there was a lot of energy around her and excitement because she was our first WNBA athlete to be signed. And executing that shoot and that production was really, really fun with our team. There's more that we're working on, but I can't reveal it now. But yeah, talk to me next year maybe, and then I can like say more.
That's dope. What about like with Puma? Did you work with like LaMelo?
No, so I actually was on the North America digital team at Puma. So I had a little bit of a switch in like roles, but I did touch all of our categories. So running, basketball, football, things of that nature, or soccer, as you would say. So my position really changed when I went from Puma to now New Balance. So at New Balance now I work on the global marketing basketball team specifically. So I went from kind of working on all categories to now one sole specific category on the global side. So we at New Balance kind of tell the story, a little bit from a creative lens on the global brand marketing team. Whereas at Puma, I was working specifically in region in kind of putting the plans in place and like monitoring that from like a data analytics side standpoint as well.
How has it been working in all of those different sports and now like the difference between like working all those different sports and now being focused primarily on just basketball? Like obviously it's what you're doing now, but you know, like as you kind of look back on it, like how has that experience working with all the other sports helped you now?
Yeah, I think it's given me a unique lens. So I would say like coming from the digital side in North America specifically has given me a unique lens when I think about my role now from a global standpoint. Because I understand the importance that other channels like really focus on. For example, email and like SMS and like site and things of that nature. So, what they're things that they're important, what things are important to them, I have a lens and I can take that as we work through productions, right? So we can know what are the formatting that we need for different, assets that we're putting on X, Y, and Z channel, what's important to our flagship store when we're having an activation, things of that nature. So I think it's helped me, given me a perspective. Not everyone on my team has come from the footwear industry. So I think, having that lens and just knowing just the industry as a whole has certainly been an asset to my team, I would say. I have a lot of basketball nerds on my team, so they know basketball in and out, but I think I bring value to my team because I know, the marketing space in and out, and I know the industry in and out as well.
I got one more question about that. So, because I know you were a track star, and isn't one of New Balance's like focuses like running?
Running is a huge part of our business. Yeah, it's like our bread and butter at New Balance. Yeah, so
have you ever like taken part of that? Because like, do they know you were like a track?
Yeah,
Do they know you have records?
What'd you say?
Do they know you have records?
I think I've shared a little bit. It's like, when you first start a new job and you share like a fun fact, I think I've hinted at. Yeah, so running is a really big part of our business at New Balance. And yeah, I've connected with our running team a lot, honestly. We've had the Grand Prix at the track across the street from our job. And I always go and support the events. When I was in high school, I ran at New Balance Nationals. So it's actually a full circle moment to see New Balance Nationals happen across the street now.
You get that pic going, like
I know, like 10 years later, I actually, you might be onto something, honestly. Yeah, because it's just like so interesting, like to be even like think like how big of a stage these athletes are competing on from like a high school level at that such elite level track is like so amazing. And like I just think about like what we were competing on back then. And it was like nothing to this scale, but it's like so amazing to see the growth of New Balance Nationals as a whole. And I'm like, dang, like I would have loved to be running on a track like this back then, It almost gives me chills, like truly like seeing those athletes compete and like going and like watching those competitions.
That's dope. So it's time for us to get into PG's favorite segment.
Okay.
This segment is called Fun Shoe. So real hard-hitting questions coming.
Okay.
Fun shoe.
Not too hard, PG.
All right, what's something you miss about Sacred Heart?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is like very random. I'll give you a few things maybe. Okay, do you remember the breakfast burritos in Linda's? Yeah. Those used to hit. Okay. But also like the people, like I feel like sometimes like, life just happens and like, sometimes you don't stay in touch with everyone, but you still think of them and you still miss them, whether it's like a coach, a friend, a classmate you used to have, like the community that I built and like when I was on campus was like truly very strong. So like I miss the people, seeing everyone smiling, all the athletes, people in the gym, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I think that's like an underrated thing kind of at Sacred Heart because like since it's small, like a lot of people know each other and like even I'm sure all of us like I know use our connections from SHU and things like that in school to see everyone do their thing. Especially obviously that's what we're doing on this podcast. Well, you kind of already answered it, but my usual question is like what was your favorite food on campus?
Oh. That was okay. That I don't know if that was my favorite, but like also the smoothies were bomb in Linda's as well. I guess
I don't know if we had the smoothies. That must have been new. I didn't get a smoothie.
Yeah, we didn't have no smoothies.
It was smoothies in Linda's. Fact check that.
I probably was. I'm saying like I remember there wasn't everything there yet when we were there.
Wait, we were there during the
in school at the same time.
I'm like, wait, hold up, wait.
Yeah, no, what is that? I graduated in 14.
You graduated in 14? But you were still around though.
Yeah.
And then maybe when did you graduate? Like definitely 15. Like 15. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say. Yeah. And I graduated in 2017.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I
don't remember I didn't have no. I wish I had smoothie.
You just didn't know what to order.
Yeah.
They didn't give you the record holder special.
It was like in the cut a little bit. But also there was like a sandwich shop across the street. Do you guys remember that? I don't remember the name.
Mondo's? You're at North?
What was it called?
Mondo's?
Mondo's used to hit.
I hated that.
Mondo's used to hit a little Italian sub. Okay. No, Mondo's used to hit.
I just lived there too long, so then I hated it. I liked it, but I hated it.
Yeah, I didn't live there.
Yeah, when you
favorite dorm on campus.
Yeah, favorite dorm on campus.
Favorite dorm. Okay, you guys gonna have remind me the names though. I mean, freshman year, Ronk. It was Ronk. There was no debate. Like
really,
in like Ronk was like the hall. Yeah.
You're the first one to say that on this show, I think.
Really?
I think so. Please check me if I'm wrong, but
kinda.
I think you're first.
Someone said it, I think.
Nah, I think you guys gotta put another poll up. I'm giving you all the poll ideas, okay?
North.
Yeah, I think okay. And then there was another dorm that I really liked. It was like down the street though, and had like the big campus. Garage in the middle. Yeah.
Taft?
What was it?
Was it Taft?
A big garage in the middle?
No, Taft, not Taft.
Or a parking lot in the middle?
I had parking lot in the middle. Like I had lived there my second
Oakwood.
Park Ridge. Wait, is it Oakwood? Oakwood. It was across the street. Oakwood was fire because it was like you got your little apartment. Like
right, yeah. I lived there too.
Was fire. I didn't have a car, so like that always sucked. But
true.
Oakwood was fire.
All right, last one. Who was your favorite professor?
Oh, I don't remember professor's name. I'm so okay. Let's another one.
Miller. So there was Professor Miller then.
Yeah, Professor Miller. I'm actually really bad at that. Names are really hard for me.
You got any other ones, AB?
Yeah. Who on the track team would you say was like your favorite person to watch run?
Oh, watch run.
Or throw, or I don't want to athletes to be like, what about us?
Track and field.
Okay, Nicole Bartosh. Do you guys remember her? You might not, but she was a multi-athlete, but she was good at every single thing. Like, look her up. Right. But she was shout out to Nicole if you see this, but she was really great. She was a multi-athlete, but also she was able to like hop in the 4x4 and like kill it out the park. Like we were all over there dying from all our races early in the day. She's just coming over here like, okay guys, I'm ready, and run like a freaking like, crazy fast time, honestly. Yeah. And always kill it. She'd go to hurdles, go like every single event she did from a multi standpoint. She was amazing to watch. Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Favorite track athlete currently in the world, globally?
Oh, okay. I'm with New Balance. So I feel like I got to say Gabby and Sydney. Like, yeah, they're both killing it, honestly. They're both really killing it. And it was awesome to see, especially Gabby, get some of the accolades that she got at the Olympics. Truthfully, very, very, very well deserved, because I know she's been putting in a lot of hard work leading up to those moments, and I know she didn't always get the shine, honestly, that she deserved. So yeah,
that's a fact. All right, last fun shoe question for you. If you were putting together a 4x4 team of celebrities, athletes, entertainers,
who?
It could be anybody: celebrities, athletes, entertainers, whatever you want.
Okay.
Who would your dream 4x4 lineup?
Wait, but when you
have to be in it, so you only have to pick 3 people.
Is she taking it like serious to win, or like just like funny?
Yeah, just for like fun.
It's up to you. What would you rather?
Yeah. Okay. Dang. Okay. Now let me think. Okay, LeBron, because I feel like he'd get like the energy up. Like he'd get the energy up. The team would be riled up. Like we'd be ready to go.
Good start.
I feel like Lotto, because like she's just funny. Like, we've had some like laughs, some good laughs. She's awesome. I have one more person, right?
Yeah.
Who else?
You're the theoretical anchor.
So like we're not really trying to win. We're like kind of showing out. Like
right.
We're just, like, yeah. I don't know. Last person. Let me think. Last person.
I want to be the assistant coach. Right?
Okay.
Because I can't be the head coach because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll be the assistant coach.
I don't know what you're doing.
You fill in the last one for me. I don't know. I'm just blanking.
No, there's got to be somebody. No, we're not letting you cop out that easy.
Okay. Let me think. Okay. Who else would I put on my 4x4? Okay. I was gonna say Mariah the Scientist, just because I really love her music. So there we go.
Okay.
This is not a real 4x4.
For the last person, because you were about to say somebody.
Oh no, I was saying don't worry about take your time, figure
it out.
Who
I was thinking about?
You guys put me under pressure. Hopefully,
I was thinking about. You were talking about turning up, so I was thinking about Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy. Okay, that's a throwback.
Right.
Well, he'll turn up, and then he'll be like, "Yo, we're the first track team with all these different athletes and celebrities. The first." That's what you'd be saying.
That's why you're the assistant coach. Definitely.
We need a little celebrity track, obvious, WNBA, NBA All Star, they all do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Next Olympics or LA Olympics. Get some money on the committee. Yeah. Well, Kayla, we want to thank you for the time. This has been a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Always welcome to pull back up next time. As you said, next year. What was it? We had to re-interview her next year.
Yeah, to get the New Balance deets.
All right, listen, you heard it here first. People, we appreciate you all for sticking around this long. This has been What You Doing. We'll see y'all next time.